Sonia, thank you very much for agreeing to talk to us today. Have you got any children?
Yeah, I've got one daughter. She's 2 and 4 months.
2 and 4 months,
and
right.
8 months pregnant.
Oh, congratulations. That's
Thank
lovely.
you.
So, did you have a really positive breastfeeding experience with your first
Yeah.
baby?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. What encouraged you? What made you think when you were pregnant, or did you make the decision when you were pregnant about how you were going to feed your baby?
I did, yeah. I had no experience of anyone breastfeeding around me. Like, no one in the family had breastfed. I didn't have any friends who had breastfed. It was just, you know, when you first get pregnant and you're looking through the books and, you know, reading like how happy people are breastfeeding and things and how good it is and that. And I was like, because I was like, I want to do the best for, you know, with everything, like, oh, she's not going to watch no telly and all that, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, so breastfeeding was one that I was like, I really want to do it just for the benefits, health benefits mainly.
Which health benefits?
None
so
in particular.
Many, isn't there? Was there no one which you thought, I'm going to do it definitely?
I don't think so, even though there is the risk of asthma. I've got asthma and my partner's got asthma, and
right.
Up to now there's been no problems at all. She's never had any colds, coughs or anything, so yeah. So that was the main one actually, yeah.
So how was it for you then when you did breastfeed? Was it easy? Did you come across any problems at all?
I did, yeah. The first week was tough, which I think most people find it is tough the first week, because you're like, most problems, like, oh, is the baby getting enough, and not realising like how small the baby's tummy is. And well, this was, for me anyway, the first week I was like, I don't think the baby's getting anything, even though she was putting weight on and things. And also I was quite sore, because my positioning was bad on one side, so I was really sore on one side. So I only fed on one side for a week, and then she wouldn't go back on the other side. But I think it was more to do with me. I felt more comfortable doing it on one side. So I fed for 20 months just on one side, really.
Right.
So, which was fine. And I was like, when it got to like 6 months, I was like, you know, could really see the difference when I hadn't fed her. And like, one was larger than the other, like at parties and things, and I was like really self-conscious. And but then as soon as I stopped feeding her, they went back to normal, fine. Which I was really worried about that, but it turned out to be fine in the end. So that was the problems I had, really. Just.
So did you go anywhere for support during that time when it was a little bit difficult?
When it was difficult, I didn't know what to do, really. I just spoke to my midwife. She came out a few times, and I was like, and she was always putting in my red book, oh, breastfeeding's going brilliantly. And I didn't feel that it was, because I was sorted down, saying, you know, trying to say, I don't think the baby's getting enough. So, like, sort of in an emergency situation, I think I was like, if nothing happens today, I'm going to stop tomorrow. But I really didn't want to, so I rang the midwife, and she got me in touch with one of the children's centre managers, who was Julia Kemp, and she was really into breastfeeding in the community. So she came out the next day, and she was just amazing. She really was. She was like, this is how much, like, the baby's getting wet and dirty nappies, so the baby is getting fed, and this is how small the baby's tummy is. You don't need to worry about how much the baby's getting. So I was like, and plus I wasn't drinking much water, which is really important, because when you're breastfeeding you get quite dry and you need a drink with you, and I didn't realise that, and I just wasn't. So I started drinking a lot more water, and I felt better then, and then after that it was brilliant then. So.
Oh, great. And now you're in a position where you support people
to
feed.
Yeah, because after I met Julia, I started going to support groups, and to one support group, Bosom Buddies in Kirby, and it was just meeting other mums who who'd breastfed, and but not always about breastfeeding. It was always about like how we do things with our kids, and what in all things like eating healthily and getting them to bed, potty training, you know, just talking to other mums about things like that. So that was really good, and then I started doing training on peer counselling, and so we went from there really. So.
Smashing. So you must have a list of top tips now, have you, that you share with people from
Yeah,
your experience?
so, yeah.
What top tips could you share with people that might be looking at the website today?
Well, for people who are looking at the website, it looks to me like everything's really covered on the website, because I think the website's brilliant. But mostly it's just getting that support really. I think everybody needs that support. If there's no support there, it really is, probably will be difficult if you don't go out, and you know, if you don't speak to anybody about it, or you don't get anybody coming to you, which is what we're trying to do, is to actually go out to women before they get to the stage where, you know, that stage where I got to, where I wanted to stop. I
think sometimes people, family around you, they don't know what else to do they? If they don't help you with the feeds, they think, what else can I do?
Well, there was no support from my family. There was support from my partner, who's been brilliant. He's really always been supportive. But like, when I got to a certain stage of when I was feeding her after 6 months, and I was getting like little comments like, oh, you're still feeding it, and you know, rubbish like that, which is, I mean, if both parties are willing to breastfeed the baby and myself, why not? There's no problem at all. So I was just not interested really what they had to say.
Not influenced.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Very good. So, have you seen the campaign materials?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think they're brilliant. Just because, especially the website, because when you're pregnant, I think, because like antenatally is the most important thing for me, is to get people breastfeeding, because I think if you're in touch with them antenatally, there's more chance of you staying in touch with them postnatally. So antenatally, I mean, like you look on websites like Bounty, and when you get your Bounty pack and you're looking at the books, and I think like you're looking on Baby Centre, and you know, it all leads to hopefully this website, which everything there about breastfeeding and bottle feeding as well, which is like really great for people who, you know, we want them to have informed decisions. So, you know, everything's there for them really, for feeding the baby. So I think it's really good.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.